How's it, everyone? You may have seen Trek have refined their Supercaliber race winning machine, making it more versatile and faster. In this video, I'm going to look at how they did it, and I'll talk about a couple things on this bike that I really like. Looking back in 2019, the Supercaliber turned heads and rolled eyes amongst the purists. Integrating the shock into the structure of the frame was a mean engineering feat, and at the time, perhaps a little weird. Then what happened is the bike started winning at the highest level and everyone wanted one. Looking at the new Supercaliber then, Trek saw fit to make some changes to give it yet more climbing prowess and descendability. It's a case of many small changes that all add up to an entirely new beast. Here's how they did it. Starting with the rear suspension, rear travel is bumped up from 60 to 80 millimeters, and the whole rear suspension system is more robust, delivering a laterally stiff and responsive ride. The main pivot is about 10 millimeter higher, which increases the anti-squat numbers and pedal efficiency for riders running large chain rings. Looking closer at the kinematics, the suspension is a bit more linear now, which is something Trek says benefits endurance riders by creating a consistently supple feel throughout the travel. For riders who want to tune that bottom-out resistance, volume spacers can be added to the shock. Other changes include the stock fork, which is bumped up from 100 to 110 millimeter, and actually you can run 100, 110 or 120 fork, whatever you desire. Incidentally, the longer option would give you a head angle of 67 degrees. XC doesn't really need slacker than that. The bike is also lighter. Looking at the overall system weight, there are now 2 carbon types available. The SLR is the top spec high modulus carbon, and then there's the SL models, which share the same rear triangle as the SLR, but weigh around 200 grams more because of a different type of carbon used in the front triangle. Altogether, it's a completely new chassis with completely new geometry. Essentially, the bike is 1.5 degrees slacker, has about 10 millimeter more reach, and about 17 millimeter longer on the wheelbase. Now, it's the sum of those changes that make the bike generally more efficient when pedaling, gives it excellent climbing traction, and I think overall it's just a smoother ride with far better descending performance than its predecessor. Diving in a little deeper from my test rides, here's a couple things I noticed and a few things I really like about this bike. It doesn't feel vague or noodly when pushing hard in turns and off cambers, and there's a few reasons for this. Like the way the chainstay wraps around the C-tube, and the whole down tube bottom bracket area is a lot more beefy. There's obviously better lateral stiffness with this kind of design and a more direct ride feel. Let me just describe it as the bike goes where you want it to go. I love the idea of the floating brake mount, which isolates braking forces from the flexing stays. No doubt this improves control when scrubbing speed and makes the chassis more durable. I felt the extra travel is easily noticeable and it improves grip and performance everywhere. For me, the biggest improvement comes from the geometry. I've always said geometry before travel, meaning that you can have all the travel in the world, but if the geo is out, then you're going nowhere fast. The longer, slower, slacker treatment Trek has given the Supercaliber takes the bike away from that sketchy, almost a hardtail space to something that's far more capable on Sendy XC or janky marathon loops. I'll summarize the ride feel for you. In or out of the saddle, the pedaling efficiency is quite incredible. And the rear suspension doesn't wallow all over the shop, but there's enough plush there to cushion out the small square edge hits. Whilst this 9.7 test bike doesn't have some of the carbon frills of the top end models, it is fast and responds instantly when kicking watts into the drivetrain. There's actually a lot of value in this 9.7 model, and it does have the super slick SRAM GX transmission. But if you're going all in on a dream machine, then I dare you to look at the range topping 9.9, which has an incredibly light wheel set that will no doubt make it the ultimate rocket ship. Trek has taken a race-winning machine and refined it with meaningful updates, creating a versatile endurance whip. The new Supercaliber feels faster on the ups and is a whole lot more capable when XC gets sandy. Send me a message if you have any questions on this review. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I'll see you on the trails.